Today, I want to speak about fear. And I believe fear is the number one reason why a lot of people cannot really manifest their heart desires. And I was the same. And you know what the problem with fear is? It's that it's not visible to you until you become aware of it. And what does that mean? There is a couple of different scenarios that are possible. Sometimes what happens is we are so used to our comfort zones, we don't take action out like outside of our comfort zones that of course we don't experience fear because we are used to those activities and maybe people and maybe situations. Of course, you don't experience fear. And the second thing is that sometimes people are kind of stuck in patterns or distractions or anything without even realizing first that those are distractions or habits that no longer serve them, let alone that behind those habits and distractions can be fear. And I experienced that in my own life. And never ever in my entire life had it occurred to me that behind my patterns and behaviors and sometimes habits were fear. And until I came to realize that, and the more I moved into a more soul aligned life where I would actually start to connect a bit deeper with who I am and what I like and what I'm here to do on earth, and what's actually the meaning of life, you ask a bit deeper questions. And the more I started to shift my reality, right, from the old paradigm to a reality that felt more aligned with who I was and my values and what I appreciated in life, the more I kind of encountered the fears that I never thought I even had. And that was like a big realization for me of how big those fears are without even me realizing it. And you know what the worst thing about that is? It keeps you stuck in your current reality. It keeps you stuck in your habit. If you don't look at your fears, or let's say you don't look at your own behaviors, at your own daily life, it becomes very hard to create new realities. And a lot of people, including myself, we want to manifest all those nice things. And for some, it might be the focus might be a bit more on material things. For others, the focus might be more on health or on relationships, or no matter what we want to manifest. What we often don't realize is that it's not just writing it down and hoping that the man with uh, the box of money stands in front of our doorstep the next day. I don't know why, but I kind of thought that, or not literally, but I was kind of like getting into this dreaming mode, right? But I forgot to take action. I forgot to look at my current life. I forgot to look at my behaviors. And only when I came to realize, hey, my manifestations, whether those dreams that I visualized come true or not, depends on me. who I am and what actions I take or don't take, and what what things I spend my time on. And that's when I came to realize, oh my goodness me, I have to shift that. I have to shift my focus. And I was struggling with that at the beginning a lot. And but what I realized that sometimes when we struggle, when we kind of have challenges, it invites us to look a bit deeper and to know, okay, there is something for us to realize or to let go of or to understand that will make us become a better version of ourselves or a truer version. You are more of who you truly are. Or you simply have a big life lesson. It can bring you a lot of lessons too. And that's why I was grateful for my challenges and for being stuck with those old patterns and habits because I learned so much from it. And I felt like I don't want any other one to really deal with those fears for so long than I have. Like, really, I was sometimes stuck in procrastination. I was stuck in overthinking. There were so many hours and days and almost months that I almost wasted. Not wasted, it's not a waste of time. You get what I mean. Where I was kind of held back by fear without even noticing it. Maybe some other people, and not even myself, would have considered myself really a fearful person in the first place. And then I noticed when I got a bit deeper within myself, I did a lot of inner work and I still do because it's an ongoing process. If you want to create anything, you need to look at your own inner structures and what holds you back and or what the next step is, or who you need to be to do that. And that was really a turning point really in my life where I was like, okay, you got to embrace your fears. And that's also my message to you to just bring your awareness more to your internal world when you want to manifest or create your heart's desires. That it's not just about writing it down or visualizing it. That's great. That's one part of it, or can be one part of it, not necessarily. But if you need to do that at the beginning, it's very good. But then also to really look deeper into your internal world. And I find that a lot of people focus on techniques, and so did I, but actually, it's as important, if not more important, to release anything that no longer serves you because the more you release, the more you get into your own flow where things start to move, right? So it's not about, I need to find the perfect strategy, but I need to release. The releasing part is, or the whole inner work is the biggest part of the manifestation or the soul creation work. And fear or looking at fears can be a pivotal part of it. Because when we suddenly, obviously, when we want to create new realities, we need to do things differently. And the moment we start or we have to start to behave or act differently or take different decisions, and I'm not just talking about big life decisions, but very daily life decisions. I mean, we make decisions each day, even with what you wear. And the more the fear can arise when something is new. And that can be really a key to your creation process and a key to speeding up your creation process when you understand that it's not just about writing it down and waiting it to come. Obviously, I mean, miracles are possible, surprises are possible, but most of the time it requires us to take a certain action. If you dream of your own business, that business is not going to be created by itself just from you visualizing it. Obviously, we need to take action. This is what I mean, you know. If you want to create a nice partnership, most likely, or maybe you need to change your own behaviors or look at your own internal world. So it always starts with the internal process. And that's what I wanted to make you become aware of, that it's so important to focus on that and to finally become more aware of our fear and not see it as something as that's weak or that's not good, but to rather see it as a little child or something, like, or a little sister that's scared or whatever. Right? As soon as I stopped seeing fear as bad or weak, well, my whole game changed because I could finally find a process to transform it. When you transform the fear, you become unstoppable. You suddenly can take action, aligned action that aligns with your heart or with who you are. You can put your focus on things you really like. And that's when the whole magic starts, the real magic. Because you're like, okay, I no longer wait until I'm surprised or until someone brings me large sums of money or someone creates my business for me, but I notice that I'm the creator of my life. I create each moment. And now I create more consciously. But in order to create more consciously, I have to become aware of what holds me back. And often people think like, oh, it's not possible because of this and that. And I get that. I was the same. I had so many excuses and reasons, and they all sounded real to my mind. And I guess what I noticed that we might experience different things in life, but in the end, we're not so different. And that's why maybe you can relate now to me in one way or another. Or if you can't, then that's fine as well. Um, but that's really important to know that if you have a dream, don't give up on that dream. It's not because that dream is too big or impossible, it's because your current belief structure or your internal world doesn't allow you to act on that dream, right? For example, as a kid, when you wanted to learn how to drive a bike, at least you needed to be able to walk. As a toddler, when you cannot walk, you cannot drive a bike, right? So it requires us to have learned certain things, right? It requires us maybe to learn how to walk or whatever it is, or to be someone, right? Often it's not about um, doing something specific, it starts with being. Who are you or who are you not? And that's really the key thing to your dreams, right? It's not that they're too big. This is really important because a lot of people, they have amazing dreams. And if you were like me, maybe as a kid or a teenager, you might have had some dreams. And if not, you might have a certain field of interest or something maybe that excites you or that makes you joyful, but you spend very little time on it because you think it's not possible. But it's a thought and sometimes a fear behind it, a fear to step into a new reality. And one thing I've learned to really conclude this video now is that it's not so important what the strategy is, it's important who you are. Because in every moment, who you are determines what decision you do. If you're in a fearful reality where you're like, oh, the money is not coming, guess what? You create out of that state, right? And that's why never give up on your dreams. Never, ever. The dreams you have are from your soul. And the world is in desperate need of your dreams. Look at the world around you, it's full of chaos. It requires people with dreams and people who make a change. And that means we have to change ourselves first in order to take different actions. And that can sometimes, and often, in my case, often, require us to look and embrace our own fears. And then your dreams are just like a couple of steps, action steps away. Thanks for watching.